Y'all want to know the real reason why I started TikTok and making videos and like putting myself out there and was like, you know what, just do it? So this is gonna be my very first story time because I'm currently at my mom's house and it's like bringing back kind of memories, kind of like the process of journeys. And so you really want to know what got me to be like, you know what, just put yourself out there, it's time, keep going. So I've had it in my brain for a while to like make a website, have a blog, do videos. I even have an Instagram for social work, school social work, that I started in 2019, and I just didn't keep up with it. Was not consistent. Imposter syndrome crept up. A lot of things, right? A lot of things. But anyway, so 2 school years ago, I was feeling burnt out, super burnt out. And unlike people want to make you think, burnout is caused by workplace stress, and not necessarily because you don't know how to manage it, you don't know how to handle it, or you're not taking care of yourself. It's just too many responsibilities put on you, and it's not reasonable. And that is what was happening. The school social work ratio to students was 1 to 600 plus. Elementary school social workers have a lot of responsibilities, whole school SEL, and it's hard not to feel guilty when you're like, I cannot see every student, I cannot meet every need. Like, I shouldn't feel that way, but I was not getting additional support, and I was asking for support, and I was like, hey, it's time for an additional social worker, and more people to help with the IEPs and the reporting and the writing and the, like, I can handle everything. It was just so many meetings that I have to be part of, that it just takes away from everything else. So again, not on me, that's not my fault. But I was feeling it. I'm at the front line fixing it and putting out fires and etc. Not to say that I don't have a good team, because at the building I have an amazing team that supports me. It just needed more school social work support. So anyways, I was feeling burned out. I was like literally at the edge of my mental health, like just too much. I had cried a couple times already, and then my grandmother passes away. My grandmother passes away in December, and that, I don't want to say force, but that made me take a pause. That made me step back from what was happening and just focus on family, good things, focus on family, focus on myself, focus on my daughters, focus on how to move through grief, right? So grief is such an interesting process. It is unexpected. It comes and goes. You don't feel it sometimes. You don't cry sometimes. Sometimes you do cry. And just anything can bring up grief in a picture, in a memory, in a who's gonna cook for me when I go to Chicago. Who, like, driving to Chicago is still a little bit hard. I was getting almost panic attacks the first couple of times that I drove up here, and I was like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? Until I was like, wait, this is the exact same route when you first came to see your grandma. So grief is a big thing. And so the reason I put myself out there is because of my grandma, Mama Adela. Like, I said, you know what? I need to take a step back. I need to prioritize what brings me joy. I need to prioritize what is important to me, and where do I want to go professionally. I don't know. My grandmother is what helped me move through it, and also be like, hey, self-care practices aren't working, maybe you need to try something else. And that's where the journaling came in. That's where, like, the blog idea came in. And I wrote a couple journal entries on grief how your body processes it. Exactly the story of like me driving and being like, what the heck is happening? I wrote that. Then I started from there writing about like me, my social work, my background, my like all the stressors. Starting from like 10 years ago, I started writing about that. And from that journaling process, I kind of was like, okay, it's time for me to use my LCSW outside of schools. And from there, December, I was more consistent with videos and posting and Instagram as well. And it's comforting to be like, she is still having an effect on me after she passed, and I can visualize her smile and I can hear her laughter. And so it's, I don't know, it's just comforting. It's cool. This is how I'm handling my grief, because school social workers don't have, social workers in general don't have everything together. We're also learning, we're also going through our own process, our own journeys, and that is okay. And this is where I'm at.